Everybody, and welcome to Hex Token Channel. Your host Superman in the house. Hope you guys are doing well, your boy. And of course, man, what a pump indeed! What a pump indeed! Are we gonna have a Hex Token Channel pump while we're live? Or is it gonna be another wave? It's gonna be pretty exciting to see that. Man, oh man, man! 4 price targets hit in 4 days. It's one a day on an average. Pretty exciting, and I still think there's a bit of excitement still left in the market today, especially if we see this ETH move as well today. That may very well happen too. Let's get into it, folks. Get into the chat. Say hello. A big welcome, of course. It's always great to have you. Here we go. We're going to have a great session. Let's do it. Yep. Awesome. Well done. Welcome, everybody. Let's see who's in the chat. Fun, fun, fun. And, of course, let's jump into, we're going to jump in. This hex.com, check it out. It's in the link in the video description. And, of course, make sure you do your own investment due diligence. Nothing on this YouTube channel is investment advice. And, of course, if you want any help, though, with any questions, get into our Discord. And we can help you as well. It's free, free, free. Let's get into it. We've got the crypto market. So we're going to talk about that. Before we do, though, let's see who's in the house here. We've got Magnus. Hi, Superman. Hey, good to see you, Magnus. We've got Sandy Beach as well. Hi, Sandy. Good to see you. Let me just make sure I've got this queued up on this screen as well. We got Ted Nelson in the house there. Hey, everybody. Fun couple of days. Smash the likes on the way in. Definitely smash the likes. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell for future videos. Definitely do that. And, of course, a big welcome from Hex Token Channel. Woohoo! Represent. Ted Nelson in the house there. Hey, Ted. And we've got Lies Beneath in the house as well. Hello, how are you today? I am very, very good. And of course, this is the ultimate strategy of this channel, is Hex, EHEX, PLS, and PLSX for the win. That is the ultimate strategy, and we love it. We love it. We can't wait for Pulsechain to launch, getting so closer. We've got some big YouTubers out there now talking about Pulsechain, getting excited because they sacrificed for Pulsechain. So we're waiting for that. Can you imagine unleashing not just the 130, 150 Hex and Pulsechain YouTubers, and of course Twitter influencers, Instagram influencers, and TikTok influencers, and many more. You've also got some of these big YouTubers in crypto that have sacrificed, and they're going to be pumping. They're going to be talking about Pulsechain all the time. So you can imagine the excitement's going to absolutely be off the roof. And of course, after last year when it was so carnage, you can imagine that people are looking for that next big thing. And of course, what else is out there? Pulsechain with the whole ecosystem dropping. It's going to be epic, man, epic. Michael's in the house there. Extraordinary vibes. Absolutely, Michael. Well said there too. Let's just jump through some of these. We've got Wookie in the house. Wookie is in the chat. Nice one, Wookie. Always a pleasure. One of our moderators as well. Hey, Superman. Hope you are all doing well on this lovely green day. It definitely is green. I like green days. Blockfish King in the house as well. Morning from Australia. Dollar cost average all the way. That is paid out very well. People have been dollar cost averaging. And we've got HOA in the house there. Good to see you. Russ is in the house. Hey, Russ. Hey, family. Let's go. Absolutely rocket bags today, man. Rocket bags today. And yes, Superman is in the house there. Cookies and crypto. And so are you. So looks like we're both here, which is good. It's a bit of a chicken and the egg, is it? I don't know. Ready for the Superman pumps, is Hex Force 1? Yes, definitely. Hex Force 1, the Hex price might pump on our live stream because it's already had the bit of profit taking from the big whales. And so we'll wait to see how that plays. Hello, Hex Token, everybody from Sandy Beach. Lost in Crypto says, is it too late to buy Hex now? Well, we always talk about dollar cost averaging. Obviously, nothing on this channel is investment advice. But you've got to assess the momentum. Definitely, we almost hit the 5 cents. We'll talk about that when we get up the Hex chart there. You really do need to make your own decisions, though, Lost in Crypto. But maybe you can hear what I think about it, and maybe that helps as well. And talk. I would suggest getting into our Discord and getting in the price chat or the audio chats and having good conversation about the prices as well. It's always good to ask some online friends, as it were. Whoop whoop. Yeah, definitely whoop whoop. Matt Jones in the house as well. Morning all. Good to see you, Matt. Let's go, Superman from Lost in Crypto. I love it. I love it. The attitude is exciting. And things are just ramping up, man. It's just ramping up. This is the opening salvo. The opening salvo for what's to come ahead. It's going to be so good. What your thoughts on Communist Coin? I saw copy greenlighted as safe to pick up. Yes, I've got the Communist Coin in our airdrops free claims, I think, from the original time. I think that's still there. I'll might have to update that. It's got Coffee's video. We actually, I think that might be on. No, it's not on today's show, but yeah, we'll probably talk about that another time. Michael Aaron House there, Superman. Woohoo! We got Piers ETH in the house as well. LLFFFFGGG from Piers ETH there. Good to see you in the chat. What else there? We've got. Let's hit 14 price targets. I like that, Russ. I think that's what's in the future. We've got that in the future, man. Michael Aaron says content every day brought to you by Superman. Give him a like. Definitely smash the like there. We've got Christian Collin in the house there as well. Hello. Good to see you. And Jizzy Mac with the rocket bags. Rocket bags. Did I call it rocket bags with the rockets? But they are rocket bags. If you think about it, you're going to be carrying a lot of Hex goodness with you. Cheers from sunny Miami, crypto capital of the world. This is from Humberto and Gonzalez. Great to see you in the chat every day. It's great. And of course, great content. Keep it up, Superman. Whoop whoop, says Taringa as well. General's in house says good morning. Good Twitter space on Power City this morning will help a PKSK pump. Yes, the old stable coin there. It's going to be awesome, Genuine. I am going to briefly talk about Power City today, but I actually might be doing a separate video on Power City. So stay if you want to see my opinions on it, you can wait for that video later today probably. The Power City space was awesome. We got Bob Wells in the house there as well. Family, hello family. Lots of hearts from Bob Wells. Who else has jumped in here? Chironga says, keep up the great work, Superman. Come on, Pulsechain, Pulsex. Woohoo! Let's get excited. Absolutely. That's a good place for us to pivot into crypto. We're going to talk about the crypto market. We're going to get to Hex. We're going to get to Hadron, icosa. We're going to get into internet money. Yes, we are. We're going to be talking about Texan token as well. Yes, we are. So we haven't talked about these ones, but these are the charts that have been pumping today. And so they were a bit delayed. They didn't pump yesterday as far as I could tell. They really pumped today. We're going to talk about Zen as well. And then we're going to talk about Power City. And then we're going to talk about BankX. Yes, we are. And then we're going to wrap up with the Hex Daily Stats and look at the global staking. So stay tuned for all that. That's what's in store for today. Obviously, no stock market or anything like that because it's closed and crypto's 24/7. Yeah, baby, yeah. That's how we roll. So BTC is 23,400. It's pretty flat at the moment. I'm expecting this to run again. I just think it's winding up the old BTC. And so that's kind of where we are at the moment, 23,400. ETH at the moment, 1,662, just up 0.25%. ETH's getting a lot more attention. People are really starting to talk way more favorably than Bitcoin in the circles that I've been seeing online. So let me know in the chat there if you've seen that sort of same sentiment. Sometimes we can operate, maybe our circle's not as big as we think it is. So let us know in the chat if you think you've heard a lot of people talking about ETH being the favored one. Now, I think a lot of people are expecting ETH to flip BTC eventually in terms of market cap. Let me know in the chat what you think about that. We've got BNB at 330, and of course that's survived very well during the bear market because of the high burn rate on BNB. So that's been going pretty well. Now the big mover today that you can see is SHIB. SHIB is on the big move there, 4015. So it's up. It was up 18%. It was 20% earlier. So SHIB is having a great day. And this is interesting. SHIB, obviously a huge community, one that's already involved with Pulsechain. And of course, that is going to be, I think, easily one of the biggest PRC20 tokens on Pulsechain. I think that's going to be pretty epic. And I really do think that we're going to see Pulsechain up in the top couple of blockchains. And it's going to be causing a real stir as well. And hey, in time, it may establish itself as the behemoth, the old Pulsechain, as it builds up its user base, credibility, value, and the superior, what I think are superior ecosystem projects that will be built. And I think the opening salvo on those projects is going to be a good opening, a position for that, and all the profit sharing that's going to go on. I think it's going to be pretty amazing, really. So that SHIB's doing pretty well there. We've got the stables are slightly below peg on DAI and USDC, and USD Tether there at $1. And remember, over 51% of the sacrifice dollars stable coins are in DAI at the moment. And that's interesting because that doesn't have God mode keys. Of course, the other ones do, USDC, USD Tether. So DAI is going to be an interesting theme out of the major stable coins going into Pulsechain. And of course, this excludes our at least four native stable coins that we're going to have, which we could have just that by themselves. I think they're going to be so good because they're the best models. we're going to have fiat models and exogenous models based on Pulse and PulseX. I think it's a no-brainer. So, yeah, pretty cool. Otherwise, it's a bit of a mixed day, just sort of holding pattern there at the moment in the charts. Let's jump over to Hex, of course, and talk about the glorious Hex. Let's do it. Hex is so good. And look at this thing, man. I can't believe it. Let's do a recap. Let's do it. Let's recap this thing over the last couple of days. Let's go to the daily chart. We're going to go into there. And I just want to talk about the last couple of days. Last couple of days, we say. Here we are. We were up to here. So we were down here at around about 2.5 cents. And what's the targets I want to talk about? So we were trying to get, if you remember, let me get rid of the summary there. Let's scroll over to this here. Remember we had these periods here where we had around about the resistance zone between 2.8 and 3.1, and we had these back on 18th of June 2022, and of course the September 2022 we had sort of bounced off this 2.8 cent mark, around give or take twice there. So that was kind of our resistance, and we came all the way down. Of course, we got down to about 1.7. Look at this. Was it 1.7, something like that? Let's have a look on this. I've got the wrong the Q on. We got down to what's this day here? We got down to 1.6937 3 cents here. 1.693 cents. I was trying to say that. I don't know why I got tongue tied there. 1.6937 was our bottom, and we were trying to get past this 2.8. But also the 3.1. Remember, we had this angular resistance, and we tried to break through that. We broke through that, man. We broke through that the other day. So we went 2.5. We got to 2.7. We got to resistance again. Remember, this was on our third attempt or something. And of course, then we broke through it. Look at that. Woohoo! That was our first day breakout there. Look at that. Bam. And we broke out of the 3.1. We got to 3.1 at the top. So we broke through that first target, bullish. And then, of course, we had a reasonably modest day the following day. But the next day, we got up to 3.3, which was on the higher side. But you remember, I was calling on the Fibonacci. We had a 3.6 to 3.8, which meant 3.7 was the midpoint. And on yesterday, we ended up smashing that. We smashed that out. And, of course, Richard gave us some fuel in there with a Pulsechain update as well. It was beautiful. And we went all the way up to 4.32 cents. So we smashed through that 3.6 to the 3.8 target. And then we broke through, obviously, to 4 and went all the way up to 4.3 cents. Amazing. And you guys know 4.3 was the next target. That was the third target. 4.3 was the third target. And we hit the top of that and closed. We ended up closing at just under 4.1. The fact that we actually hit that third target at 4.3 was amazing. But no, the market wanted to do more. And of course, after 4.3, our fourth target was 5 cents. And of course, when we scroll back here, where do we get the 5 cents rate? Well, that was our previous high before we got down to a low here of 1.7 cents. We were up at 5.03 cents here. So actually, the high on this is actually 4.984. So it's basically 5 cents at the top. And of course, what do we do today? We got to 4.935, so almost hit the 5 cent mark there. Super bullish. We had some big holders come in, and they sold stuff. We're going to see that in the whale bot. They sold that down, but that's basically it. We basically almost hit that 4 target exactly. It's pretty close, so we're just going to include that. So 4 targets in 4 days. Amazing results on the Hex chart. Really good to see this sort of old Hex spirit come back in that we had during the bull market. Very, very exciting. So that is what we saw in the chart there. Let's have a look at the summary for the last 24 hours. We had the market over 24 hours only down at 1.5% at the moment. So the chart's kind of still looking robust there. It does get a bit of trauma though when you get some big whale sell-off. Does have a bit of trauma. So you got to sort of push your way through that. It takes a little bit of time sometimes. And it might just move sideways a little bit or travel up slightly. Where we might see that. So the buys at the moment, 944 buys, can you believe it? And 752 sells with 55% buy volume dominating over the top trading pair. Remember, there's the top trading pair for Hex. It's got 7 million in liquidity in it. But if that's the number of trades that were on with the buyers favoring 55%, the sell volume has been changed around just because of the last couple of hours when we got up to 5 cents and pulled back. So, but look at the trading volume. The trading volume, 9.9 million buy volume, 11 million sell volume, And of course, what that is amazing. That is $21 million in volume there. Amazing. And of course, the buy volume 47%, for sellers 53. And of course, we only really got dragged down in the last 6 hours there. 4.8 million, 66% sell volume, and that was just due to a couple of large accounts. And of course, this is the way it goes. When you go up, when you have such a dramatic price movements, even from the period that we discovered, looking at 100% basically, just in these last couple of days, and that doesn't include coming all the way back to the bottom here. So just the last couple of days, about 100%. So you're going to get some of those larger holders trying to take profits there. Just the way it goes. Now I know that Somni on Twitter has been covering a lot of those particular buys. If you want to see some details about those, you can do that. But we're going to have a quick look at the whale bot over the last 24 hours and see what's been going on there. So 23 hours ago we had a penalty of come in for a stake, so that's pretty nice. We got some more payment there. Negative 25% ROI, crazy. So we're getting some people that are ending their stakes, and this is what happens, a function of price. And of course, they often sell down. So we've probably got a bit of that going on too, with people ending up doing that. People got idiot and wrecked on this one. So yeah, we're going to see a few people in their stakes, and of course, sacrifice themselves with their yield for price. But apparently, they think that 4 or 5 cents is the pump in Hex. I don't know where they get that from, but anyway. So 3.9 million Hex bought 14 hours ago. That was pretty cool. 3.5 million bought 14 hours ago for 150k. We had 3.5 million bought 13 hours ago for 150k. 40 million Hex stake for 74 days. Another one of these short stakers. Remember, these short stakers are going to get diluted the next time they stake, because the share rate's going to go up on the 16th of February by 600 Hex per T-share. So that's going to be pretty interesting. These guys are going to get shaved off a little bit there. Now, they do that for a couple of reasons, but we're not going to get into that. 2.9 million Hex bought for 140k 9 hours ago. 3.4 million bought for 164. So we had all that buying coming in, pushing us up in the price chart, right? So let's go to the hourly chart on the Hex, and we can see, look at that. So we had all this buying coming in, pushing us up here, up to this glorious moment of 4.9. Now, when I turned in for the night, I think the price was around, it was around here. So it was around about 4.3 cents, I think, when I turned in for the evening, and then it rallied overnight, right? So what would I do if I want to participate in this? I'd probably have to either do a spot buy or whatever. So there we are. That's the way you go. All right, what else we got going on there? We had all those buys coming us, pushing the price up. You can see the price going up there. We then had 7.6 million Hex bought 7 hours ago. 3.5 million then sold. So now we starting to get into the sellers. So here we are with the sellers here, and the sellers coming in here. This is what's bringing us down. So let's have a quick look at this. So we had 3.5 million Hex sold. That was sort of the beginning of the selling. 5.2 million sold 4 hours ago for 236k. 15.8 million sold for 700,000 there 4 hours ago, and so on. So cool. 30 million. So this is one of the big behemoths. Just sold for 1.3 million US dollars 2 hours ago. And so if we look at on the chart here, so that was back in here, back in this red candle here. And let's have a quick look in here. I think Somi might have talked about this. Yeah, Wallet 17 BB has dumped and now got 2.8 million USDC in the wallet. He loaded this wallet with over 1 million USDC 148 days ago from Kraken, Trades, Hex, and Uniswap out V3 LP. And so that's pretty much it on that one. So that is a bit of insights into that. Let us jump out of there and keep going. We had 6.9 million Hex sold for 285,000 2 hours ago. So let's have a quick look at some of that. Almost 60 million Hex was dumped in the last couple of hours, and the price is still at 4.2 cents. Very cool. We're just, it's just above 4 cents at the moment, so that's pretty nice. And it did bounce off about 3.96 or something like that. So that is pretty cool after all that. We had 22 million Hex just sold for 900,000. That was 2 hours ago. And that is the last update on the whale bot. So it's been pretty quiet since then, the last 2 hours. And that was that selling round. So, and you can see those candles in here. That was pretty much the selling in here, and so forth. But hey, we almost got to 5 cents. So amazing. And how long ago was that? That was, we got up to that 9 hours ago. And so that's pretty much where we got to. So pretty amazing. And of course, given that huge pump, we're currently down about 18.6%. So big day for making gains. Also, big day for the price to go down as well when people take profits. And some of those larger accounts did that. So there we are. That's pretty much it. But we're only on a 24-hour basis. we're still only down 1.65%, so that's pretty good on the 24-hour basis. Isn't that cool? But you know, we're down 14.5% on a 6-hour basis. So there we are. You can see that on the chart. So that's pretty much it on there. Let's have a look. I'll zoom out now and have a look at all the way out. So we're going to go to, let's go to the weekly, I think. Probably be a better view. And let's pull this down. So this is our weekly chart from Hex's top in our bull market up the top here. So around about just under 52 cents based on my chart here. And all the way down, we got down to just below 1.7. So that was pretty much our decrease there. And so this is the weekly candle. Remember, these candles are weekly. That's 469 days of a bear market down there. And now we've pushed up into a better territory. We've still got more work to do. But we're about to make, if we get over this 5 cent mark, we're going to make a higher high here. So that's going to be cool. So that's going to be cool. And this may end up being at the bottom so far. So we'll see. Still a bit of more time. But we're at the crossroads here, folks. And of course, if we want to truly get a higher low, that's very important. But we also want to get past this long-term resistance here. See the blue line? That's what we want to get out of that too. And of course, as we move forward in time, it becomes easier, right? Because the angle's down. And so even if it takes us a few more weeks, we're going to get there at the end, because I'm sure. So we're at 5 cents. We want to break out this and sort of break this downward pattern here. And we'll have a higher high here. And then, of course, if we can break out of this pattern here, no matter what that was, it's going to be 7.7 cents. Then obviously we're in bullish territory big time. And of course, we know we are. We've got Pulsechain coming. We've got, less Hex has been around as well. So the fundamentals for Hex are good. Pulsechain is obviously awesome. And as I say, I did a video the other day. Hex is a proxy for Pulse. So Pulsechain's not launched, but Hex is a proxy for Pulse. And so people are buying on the Pulse news. So the more news we get around testnet, more news around mainnet, the more excitement in the market. People are going to buy Hex. It is the proxy for Pulsechain Pulse, and will be until Pulsechain launches, until there's actually some physical Pulse, which will take its rightly place. It will probably say, "Get out of here, Hex! I'm taking my place. This is my rightful place." And Hex will say, "So what, man? I'm pumping all over the place. I don't care. You can have your chair." It'll be a bit of a family dispute amongst Richard Hart tokens. You can imagine the drama. Could be a whole drama TV series based on that. So it'd be pretty funny. Anyway, we're currently at 4.1 cents. And if we take off all the overlays, you can see us pretty much here looking pretty cool. We're at a real crossroads here. Very, very good, folks. This is really exciting to see this. And of course, we might actually on the weekly get a crossover here on the EMA. A weekly cross on the EMA, folks. Can you believe it? That looks like it's coming very, very close here on the weekly. So very, very cool. So we've got the weekly EMA here. We've got the 21 day is 3.4. The EMA on the 9 is 2.88. So we're only half a penny away from a bullish cross on the weekly here with the EMA as well. So that's pretty cool. What else? We blew past the 200 moving average as well on Hex, which was about 3.5 cents. So we blew past that also. And that's goodbye, pork pie, as we say. That's pretty much it. So that is the Hex stuff there. But also we've got liquidity in the house as well. So we've got say hello to liquidity here on the V3 pair. And of course, this is the biggest pair that we've just been looking at. And we can see this is moving around rapidly, this liquidity pool. And of course, at the moment, we're sitting right here at 4.05. And you can see that it drops off at 4.48. Then it drops off here at 4.68. And then finally at the bottom here, 5.4, folks, 5.4 cents. So imagine if the buying was pushing through all this volume, the sell volume. Obviously, this moves around as price moves and, LP positions change. But over 5.4, man, away. And of course, obviously, it's going to change a lot by then. But that gives us an easier room, of course, to get up higher, right? So that's pretty important now. Now, let's have a quick, I'm not going to go to the Hex daily stats at the moment, but we're going to look at the liquidity in the pool. We were down really low on the Hex liquidity. I think we were down at like 56 million or something based on the Hex stats. We're currently sitting at 128.7 million in the Hex pool. That's where we are at the moment, and we've got 5 minutes to go with the day to close. So we're going to be getting into that later on. So that is pretty cool on all that. Looking forward to it, and we need a bit of probably see how Sunday goes, because Sunday may end up being quite good particularly if ETH decides to have a bit of a move higher. At the moment, this is sort of just sitting sideways in the old crypto market. All right, let's jump away from there. We're going to get into Hadron now. Before we do that, let's catch up on the chat, and I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, so let's say hello to a few people. Actually, no, before we do that, we've actually got to talk about something else. Before we get into Hadron, we're going to talk about something else, but let me play it. Let's do it before we get into the chat. I just got to find where I'm going here. So Ivan on Tech has been putting a few things out. So I wanted to talk about that. So let's do it. Hopefully this is going to work, because I haven't tested this before. This is a new feature that I'm using. So let's do that. And let's play the first one. I think this is the first one here. And I might have to put my headphones on just to make sure it's all going well. So
at 17K, at 18K, don't feel like that, because listen, there are going to be so many opportunities. We haven't even went into the true mania, okay, of alts, and alts is the biggest opportunity. It's not Bitcoin. Then you do see something like Hex. Let me know by the way, guys, if we have some Hex fans in the chat. If you look at Hex, it's up also over 100% over the past 30 days. This is the kind of place that is going to be way more common. And it's not necessarily that you need to look at this particular coins. I'm just showing you examples of great performance in alts, way better than Bitcoin. And Bitcoin hasn't even done a lot. What is changing and what is interesting is that many of the discounts are disappearing. At 17K, at 18K, don't feel like that, because listen, there are going to be so many opportunities. We haven't even went into the true mania, okay, of alts, and alts is the biggest opportunity. It's not Bitcoin. Then you do see something like Hex. Let me know by the way, guys, if we have some Hex fans in the chat. If you look at Hex, it's up also over 100% over the past 30 days. This is the kind of place that is going to be way more common. And it's not necessarily that you need to look at this particular coins. I'm just showing you examples of great performance in alts, way better than Bitcoin. Pulsechain. And Bitcoin hasn't even done a lot. I have Pulsechain. I'm waiting for Pulsechain. And Richard, I just saw yesterday on Telegram. We agreed with Richard to have a new interview when they have version 3 at 18K. Don't feel like that, because listen, there are going to be so many opportunities. I want my pulse. I see the pulse in true mania, okay, of alts, and alts is the biggest opportunity. Let's hope it comes out soon. Then you do see something like Hex. No, by the way, if it comes out and the bull market starts in the chat, it's going to be fantastic. If you look at Hex, it's up also over 100% over the past 30 days. This is the kind of place that is going to be way more common on Telegram. And we agreed with Richard to have a new interview when they have. I'm just showing you examples of great performance. Pulsechain. I want my pulse. I see the pulse. Bitcoin hasn't even done a lot. What is changing and what is interesting is that many let's
welcome to the multiverse, folks, because that's what's happening here.
If it comes out like that, there are going to be so many opportunities. We haven't even went Pulsechain. I have Pulsechain. True mania, okay, of alts, and alts is the biggest opportunity. It's not. I just saw yesterday on Telegram. Then you do see something like Hex. We agreed with Richard to have a new interview when they have.
All right, so hopefully that's finished there. Too much. Yeah. It's like I say, I haven't used that feature, and it's a little bit awkward to operate. So this is the way it goes sometimes, and I'll have to try and work that one out, because I got double up on the videos there. But basically, Ivan on Tech has been talking about Pulsechain and Hex, and of course that's very bullish as well. Huge community, obviously, very important there. And it looks like I've lost my back screen, so I'm not sure what's happened there. Just the way it goes. Let me just pull that in. Let me add this in, bam, and put that there. So that's what happens when you try to do stuff on live stream, and things not working out as well. So cool. All right, we're back. Lesson learned there. So anyway, we're going to get to Hadron. So very bullish with Hex and big influencers like Ivan on Tech talking about it. Very cool. We are expecting Richard to do an interview with Ivan at some stage. So that I think that was supposed to be back a little bit there as well. So cool. Anyway, that's a bit of an Ivan remix, it turned out to be. So cool. We got Hadron at the moment. We got that price on. Before we do that, let's get into the chat there. And sorry about the technical issues I had there, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Let us see where we are. Let's go all the way back here. Let me just go through all that. Chat is on fire today, says Brennan. Who else is here? Pumpy, says Monkey Face. Definitely Pumpy there as well. Humberto says we will get a hex pump on every update RH gives. 12 Futters success is waiting for the Pulsechain family. And it's around the corner, yeah. It's going to be very cool. I saw 6.2 cent hex on Crypto Watch app today, says BTFD. Yeah, I'm not sure why that would have been like that, but weird. The wildlife is in full sound. Yeah, it definitely is. Hex to 40 to 50 cents on Pulsechain announcement, says Humberto. Superman is speaking Slytherin, says Michael. Slytherin, is that right? What else there? Smooch the likes there, says Pierce. Definitely do that. Let me jump through some of these comments. I'm going to jump through those. Hit that horn, says Humberto. Hit the horn for you. It's still sitting there. Pulse Basil says, yes, you are right. Hex is going down after this pump, says Pulse. Well, there will probably be some profit taking, so just the way it goes. We just saw that pump get profit taked, so it's at just the way it goes on that. Currently at just under 4 cents here, it's dropped below. One more dump, says D-Wave. Yes, you're right, Hex is going down after this pump, says Pulse Bezov. Astri says, woo! Good to see Astri. We got Blue Bum in the house as well. Hey, pumpkins, says Blue Bum. That's funny. Hardy Hex Lorian says, hey, did you see K4K Crypto? As per Richard's tweet about the testnet v3, Archive node tells us that mainnet is at least 12 days away because the requires a new archive node to sync. That's his estimate. Cool. Hardy Hex Lorian says, so unless they're stealth syncing, we have 2 weeks to syncing more public. All right, cool. That's his estimate. All right, nice. D-Wave says, you think we will see under 2 cents Hex again? I think that's very less likely, very low probability now. I really don't see what's in the market at the moment that's going to pull that back. The Fed doing a surprise hike. We're expecting 25 basis points. So if we lock that in, and the economic indicators do come back. Now, if the economic indicators start to go back the other way, like inflation and employment stays up, ugly, and wages and things, then sure, then that may start to jostle the market a bit. Apart from that, the only risks I really see this year at the moment are geopolitical risks. Can't see anything particularly around the financials that's really going to do anything at this stage, and everything has turned out much better than we expected. So yeah, not really seeing a lot of that. So that's probably my point of view on there at the moment. And I think anything around Gemini, Genesis, and things like that, the market's kind of priced that in. So yeah, don't really see anything that's out there at the moment. CC, it's like moments like these, definitely. Humberto says, for all of us who have diamond hands, this is just another day in the office. Or sell all you want. Diamond hands do not comprise a life-changing wealth. Yeah. So with the hex chart, we will see profit taking. We just saw that when we tried to reach 5 cents. But the reality is that the Pulsechain testnet is still coming, and of course, after the testnet announces, we'll probably get a bit of a sell-off there, and of course, buy the rumor, sell the news. Then, of course, the mainnet's coming later on in the year, so that's kind of where we're going there. Blue Bum says that doesn't sound right. Loads of chains have launched with functioning explorers all the time. D-Hex says, let's go Hexkins, Pulsexkins. The only way is up. I like that. Yeah, well, there's more people hearing about it, right? There's nothing better than a hex price chart, a green chart going up and to the right, and more people are hearing about it, as we saw with Ivan on Tech. More people are talking about it. Bobby says, Ivan, yeah, definitely. Sorry about that. I was hoping this video is going to play right there. I'm going to have to work out how that's going to work. I might do some testing later on to get those video plays correct on this platform. 2 videos overreaching each other. Yeah. It's funny. What else there? Overlapping. Yeah, we'll jump through all that. Ivan in the multiverse, is J Judge. Yeah, Ivan was definitely in the multiverse there. But basically he was just saying, Hex is on the move, altcoins are going to do better than Bitcoin, and Pulsechain's coming, and he's sacrificing Pulsechain, so he's excited about that. That's pretty much the summary there. We've entered the Ivan Twilight Zone, says Blue Bum. Yeah, unfortunately. Let me just go up into some of those. We're going through all that. Where are we up to there? I think we got up to that. J-Man's in house. Hello, hello, hello. Good to see you, J-Man. And a dollar cost averaging for the win, says Sandy Beach. Absolutely. All right, Hadron at the moment. Hadron had a stellar, like, look at Hadron, man. It's crazy. So Hadron went massively up to 2,624. That's a really nice move. And it is currently at 2,252. So broke our 2,000 milestones. Remember, we had all these milestones that we had talked about previously all got beaten up. And so pretty awesome. Hadron at the moment, 107 buys versus 84 sells, so 56% on the activity. And the sell volume looks similar to Hex at the moment with that profit taking after the huge rally for both charts. And that's 338k buy volume versus 423 sell volume, and 53% domination there by the sell in the last wee while. And of course, most of that is in the last 6 hours. You can see 204k versus 30k, so 87% sell volume in there in the profit taking, and that's to be expected. We see it all the time, rinse and repeat on crypto charts, but the momentum is your friend. Pulsechain's still coming, and so it's going to be fun to see that. So that is pretty much that. Let's jump over to the icosa. We've got how many auctions in the queue? 4,258 Hex HSIs in the liquidation queue. And how many in the auctions? We only had 10 yesterday. We've got 17 today. So that's a lot better. Let's see what big ones are in here that are coming up. We've got 1 T-share, 11 T-shares, 2 T-shares, 3 T-shares, heaps of 3 T-shares there, 1.67. 8 T-shares coming up later in the day, 30 hours from now, 8 T-shares. And that's pretty much it on that one. Dev Huey gave us an update about WhatsApp NFTs. 3 were burned over the last 24 hours. 2,372 million points, and of course supply is now 21,688, so a lot of people are still holding on to that. The one thing I will look at is the icosa price, because that has been awesome. People have been getting the yield and the price been looking really good. So let's have a look at this liquidity pair. It is at 84 cents. Wow, so everyone's going to be happy with that. And of course got to 98 cents, almost back to $1. Woohoo! Isn't that cool? Let's look at the hourly. So that was not too long ago either. Got to an hour and 5, it says here. $1 an hour and 5. $1.05, got to $1.05. Wow. So if you're in icosa, you are loving this. The yield and price, yes please. That's awesome. So well done. All right, let's jump away to some of the other highlights that we've had over the last 24 hours. And man, it has been pretty amazing. We've had a little bit of delayed move here. Big Hoona says RH positive Pulsechain news updates spicing the community. Absolutely has been spicing, and this timing has been uncanny, has it not? So you can draw the conclusions there. Humberto says the only way we will see 2 cents Hex is in our dreams. Sorry, Sandy Beach. Yeah, I think it's very unlikely, less likely. Now, obviously, the higher the price Hex is, if there is any bad news, then you know, we've got a higher place to fall from. So they've got a bit more cushion there. As opposed to, imagine if we were at 1.7 cents and you had bad news, you could go down, you know, way lower. So that's kind of that relatively play. It's nice to have a better cushion. Obviously, we wanted to keep heading up past 5 cents, up towards that 7.7 cents, and break the ultimate bear downtrend would be pretty cool. Now, even if we break that downtrend, we may, you know, track along sideways a little while, just subject to the timing of Pulsechain. Sandy Beach, we both wanted to buy more cheaper. I think I'm going to save all my liquid for Pulsechain launch. Yeah, quite a few people are doing that. So people are changing their strategies now. You know, over the last year, we've people been trying to speculate on all these projects that we've been having and trying to get more capital to push back into Hex and Pulsechain. Well, I know that people now recently have been telling me, you know, that they're looking to really just instead of playing some of the new projects, is to get their capital ready for Pulsechain. So people, I think we're just starting to see the early shift to people getting their dry powder ready for Pulsechain. So it's a little bit of stuff happening there. That's just what's been, you know, I've heard. So it's just anecdotal, but it's definitely people are talking about it. Zenon just says you want cheaper Hex. 4 cents is cheap compared to $1. Absolutely, that is well said, man. Well said. All right, so we got Internet Money. Internet Money launched this Internet Money token on a BSC chain. It wasn't doing particularly great on that chain, and but then of course it moved into to develop the Internet Money wallet. And of course, we know that that's going to be a AAA dApp or wallet for the Pulsechain, and they're going to be launching multi-chain as well. So it's kind of cool. So I think that's going to be cool. It's going to have airdrops, referrals, fee earning. So it's pretty cool like that. And yeah, so it's got a really good, strong narrative. KG's been out there spreading the word about it. And that's what you have to do as a project. You need to get out there and build up your community and get users, right? You need users to use the places. Now he's put this update here, previous 48-hour bullish news thread. We just got listed on CoinGecko. So after they launched on IM, they did the airdrop. We covered that, and of course they launched it onto Ethereum. And of course Ethereum's more valuable, so it's likely to do better anyway. So we can see a lot of people obviously doing more stuff on Ethereum. So that's kind of cool. So very bullish, the CoinGecko listing, very, very nice. And of course they had a couple of cautionary notes. We're going to jump through that. And they also had I think, why is there a mint function as well? We're going to jump through that. Now, number 4 here, back to the bullish news. Internet money was deployed on Ethereum, and we've reached price parity between internet money on both chains. IM was listed on the first centralized exchange, which is Bilaxy, and of course now is also listed on the coin listing site of CoinGecko. Internet money on BSC and Ethereum is now supported by TradingView also, so that's kind of cool for the traders. Ethereum and BSC on trading. And then number 6 here, thank you for taking the time to read this. We continue building, growing, and thriving. So there we are. That is some of the highlights there from Internet Money. And let's have a look at the charts. The charts really had a good rally on the charts here. So let's go to this is the IM on BNB or BSC chain, and you can see that they had the big rally before the airdrop. And when the airdrop came, of course, you got a copy on ETH chain, and the price started diving there. And of course, we talked about convergence is what I'm trying to say, convergence there, and on both chains, so that this would come down and the ETH chain would go up, and they'd sort of meet each other at the same price. We saw a big volume kick in here, and the price rallied back up here. So it got all the way down to 3,500 with, I guess that's 7 zeros in front of it, and has rallied all the way up to 7,790. So back up there. Now it did get up to 60254, I think it was. So it did have a big rally up there, and it's up 50% on the 24 hours. So that's why I thought I'd mention this. Very successful. KG's got to be very happy with what's going on here with the IM, and he's doing everything he can to make that successful. So 50% increase in the last 24 hours, very cool. And it is still sitting at similar parity to where it was before. So that's probably why the IM money on Ethereum is going to be the one to really watch. Because look at this, OMG, it moved past convergence and parity. It is now rocking it, and we can see that it's almost lost to zero. It's at 709,672. So it is high. It's got a premium on top of IM on BNB chain, and it's currently up 117%. So 50% is good, 117% even better. And of course, look at that. So 29% in the last 6 hours. And that has really rallied from here on the ETH chain. So ETH chain considered more valuable based on this. And there we go. So that's kind of cool. That is probably where I wanted to head on that one. So that's Internet Money. Congratulations to KG. And of course, you can download the test wallet. I think they're going to be going live with that soon. So Q1, I think, is still the launch time, I think, from going to, was it beta launch to live. Now, in the next chart we want to talk about is Texan token. Now, this took a delay as well. This wasn't moving up because we were focused on Hex and Hadron and everything else. But this was rallying here in the last 24 hours. Look at this. Texan token finally moved out of its slumber. Had to get everybody got these airdrops, and you had to absorb all that. And that's what I said on this channel. Just let it play out. There wasn't a lot of retail buys, so there's not a lot of volume, and there still isn't really. We had a bit of a decent volume day today, but it's still relatively low. But we had a nice little pump here, and it's gone to 401582, and we're up 23% on Texan token. So this is an endowment token, and of course one of the things I like about it particularly is that they are looking to onboard people onto Pulsechain, particularly no coiners. So that's kind of cool too. Anything that pumps, that brings new users to Pulsechain, everybody's got to be pretty agnostic about it, generally speaking. So that is kind of cool. Got up to 1874. Is currently at 1582 with 4 zeros in front of it. The liquidity is pretty low still, 52,000, but that's pretty much where we are at the moment, up 23%. So well done to Rags to Riches and Crypto Heartbeat on that one. That seems to be moving along. Now, Zen, of course, we're going to talk about Zen, Jack Levin, and we're going to talk about this. So this has had a bit of a nice rally here too, 1548 all the way up to 1635 there. And 16 seems to be a very popular number. Every time we come back to this every so often, it seems to be 16. Now, the chart still looks like this. This is still the historic chart, and you can see that play out here. Let me just move that up a little bit here. You can see that still got this log 2 function here, but we're starting to see some leveling out here. So that's kind of cool to see. And why are we seeing that? Well, we're going to talk about that. But that is the chart there. It's up 3.36% on the 24 hours. We've got $612,000 of liquidity, so way bigger on just the Uniswap pair alone. Obviously, it's also on Maxi, Huobi, and another one, CoinBreaker or something. Another one anyway. Can't remember exactly which one it is. Let me have a look at the contract. Yeah, Gate.io, Maxi, and Huobi there. So Gate.io was I was thinking there. So cool. And so that's going there at the moment. Let's have a look here on the dashboard. We can see on the dashboard here that there is 5.8 trillion Zen in supply. That's definitely slowed down. Definitely slowed down. So let's have a look at why that is. We'll go. We've had higher GWAI, so that means less people minting. But that's not what we're looking at here. This is the number that we've been following this chart, the Zen supply, because we have all the inflation, and then you have the supply sinks, the things that are eating up that inflation. And this is what we've got so far. So today, really low. This is what I said would happen. We're seeing it happen, and it's cool to see. Now we had 34 billion that was minted and claimed, and that's a really low day for new supply. But we're expecting some of those, particularly as we get into March onwards. We're gonna have some really weird stuff. We're gonna have a lot of low days and then some big candle spikes. We're gonna talk about that. And now staking, there was 12 billion that came out of stakes. That's why there's a negative number. And then burned was 3.5 billion Zen was burned. And of course, that's around NFTs and things like that. So the net liquidity was 46.6 billion. That is actually on the low side. So you can see that on the counter here, 46 on the low side there. Very, very cool. Now, what we are seeing, let's have a look at the trends. We've got these charts being updated. Now, here's the big milestone that's been hit. And that is that the supply sink has reached over 10% for the first time. So the burn has worked, and of course the roadmap's not even launching yet. We've got Phoenix and Reflection and all these other projects launching. It's going to be pretty important. Now there are NFT projects. I think Zen Turbo's launched an NFT project and things like that you burn Zen. That's in play. Now the penalties is at 2.32 and the staking is at 6.87%. So these are your staking numbers. Of course, we had that big stake come out today, so that would have impacted that. Now, your total liquidity here is pretty similar to what we've been seeing. 80.74% is liquid, so that's kind of pretty similar. And of course, what you want to see is you want to see all these little slices here, these supply sinks, you get bigger, and the blue gets smaller over time. Because obviously the blue in absolute terms is going up, but you want the percentage here of the supply sinks to get bigger. And of course, there's all these other projects on the roadmap coming in the future that are designed to do that. So we'll be looking forward to that. You can see the trends are pretty much your friend. You can see the trend there is looking pretty good on the burns and the penalties. They're all going up, the red line there and the green line. Now the staking was going up too, and this is actually could be very powerful if it continues, although we had that big dip down today with those stakes coming out. So we'll have to see what happens with that. That's a little dip there in the chart. Now let's quickly scroll down to the mined. So obviously the GWAI's been higher, and there's been far less people mining. And of course, it's at 62.4 trillion at the moment, 11.44% of this theoretical number of 545 trillion. We'll see how we get on there. Now, as I say, once we get through February, we're going to be in this period of between March and September that we might see some pretty interesting things happen with the chart, especially if the roadmap rolls out. And you've got both of those things happening. It's going to be pretty crazy. Now, we do have, so that said, we have a lot of low mints, but we do have a lot these skyscrapers in there too. So that's you got to average all that out. So it's still pretty high amount of volume coming in there, and you can see that's all summed up with the yellow line. So with the yellow line there. So by the time we get to the end of September is what I say, or end of August. Let's do the end of August. You're seeing that we're going to have another 12.4 trillion come out, and that's going to be eaten up by the supply sinks by the roadmap. So that's kind of what we're looking for there. But we are expecting some of the roadmap to launch through this whole period. So it's going to be pretty fun to see how that plays out there. So that's pretty much that. February is still pretty, decent, but it's generally low, but still got a decent amount of supply coming out. So by the end of February, we've got around about 2 trillion Zen still to come out and there at the moment. So that's going to add to the supply of 5.8. So that'll be 7.8 by the end of February. Let's have a look at Jack Levin. Obviously talked about the burn here. Zen burn crosses 10% of supply as the higher gas cost slows down mints, and ZenFT creation kicks into high gear, and there's been a lot of minting of that. That's been huge. So that is kind of the highlights there. We're going to jump into the mint finally and just wrap up on this. But you can see the slow to mint's really low, 22,000. Yesterday was even low, it's like 9,000. So normally this is like 50, 80, 110,000. This is really low on that. And the reason why is because Gwei's been higher and your break-even's been really long. Like you're talking 4 to 6 months break-even. So people are not minting so much now, they're pushing it right out. So that's a bullish sign. The other thing, of course, is that we're up to global ranks up to 10.8 million almost on the Ethereum side. And that means the early bonuses, the EAA, is going to disappear. It's going to take longer, though, because of the higher Gwei's, meaning people are minting slower, but it's still currently at 1.3% on that. So that is pretty much a wrap-up of that. So Zen actually doing pretty well if in that context. 16.15 on the price, actually holding up for the time being. Trends are your friend. So that's pretty much it. Also on the Zen squad here, we can see the number of NFTs that are playing out on Zen. We're up to 41x unicorns. This is doing what I said it would do. And as we get more inflation and more of the roadmap, more of that sort of thing going, that these are going to get eaten up. And that's what we're seeing. Zen unicorns, 41 out of 100. However, we're still on a slower pace overall on the apexes, only at 3.6% of apexes at the moment taken up. But I suggest to you that over the coming year, that will start to eat up a lot of these things in a particular order. So it's going to be fun to see that. We've also got 228 limited. Now limited's probably one of the only, what I think is in terms of fundamentals, sort of a relative flaw in the NFT design. So that's based on time. And then of course finally collector, which is pumping very well. Collector is working extremely well. So it's on the other end of that. And we've got 904 collectors. And the short-term ones are the rubies. We've got 7,200. The long-term ones are the X-Churians. These are the big whale batch minters, 3,245. Now, the interesting thing is that in 2023, 3,507 of these are going to be maturing, but most of them in 2024, we've got 11,944, which is the bulk of this. So it's going to be fun to see that. The total burn at the moment from the apexes is 726 billion. So it's not too far away from a trillion. It's heading towards there. And that is looking good. So it started off, I think reasonably, and now is really starting to make an impact there. So very, very excited. So that's the Zen one there. We'll be watching the roadmap over time and checking in on Zen every so often. So cool. Let's jump over to Power City. Now, obviously, earlier in the chat there, people were talking about Power City, and they've had a nice cool update here with the project team, with KDP and others. And of course, that's been pretty cool. So everyone loved that. And they were dropping a few little pieces of extra information there as well. So aggregation and earn token and all that sort of stuff. I'm going to be doing a separate video on Power City. So stay tuned for that. But that is really, really cool. If you haven't heard of this, of course, I'll post the link in the video description if you want to go and watch this. This is the Power City update. But I will be doing a video too. Now, if we talked about earlier about Pulsechain, if you missed out on the Pulsechain Sacrifice, you want to pick up more Pulse, then you've got really, I think, 2 main options, or you got 3 options. You can buy Hex in the lead up, but you can buy, you can save dry powder, looking for the dips if there are any, and of course, there's always some whales going to sell down. We know that, so there's probably going to be some volatility, and then of course. You can get into AAA projects like Power City that where you can earn Pulse from all their businesses. So you either earn Pulse, you either get into inflation debt or you get into a business debt, and these business debts are just so good. And their sacrifice is still open, so that's one way you can look at it. So cool. That is the link there for that one. I think it's pretty good, and yeah. So cool. Let's jump away from that. So that's Power City. We're going to get into a little quick update here from BankX. Yeah, we don't talk much about BankX for a while. But BankX here are going to be one of the 4 stable coins, looking to launch on Ethereum BSC first, and then of course Pulsechain when it launches. BankX here, they just gave an update on the 4th here. We just did an NFT contract audit, DeFi Sentry, and completed the audit of the NFT contracts. No issues found, and of course it will be in the doc section soon. So I looked at that, and it looked fine. So pretty cool on that one. So you can check that out on BankX. So it's bankx.io as well. So that is slowly moving along the old one there. That we're trying to launch on Q1, but I think they'll probably slip into Q2 on the launch there for ETH and BSC chain. I can't remember which one they're launching first, but I'll try and remember that, find that out. All right, so that is pretty much it. We're going to get Hex Daily Stats, folks. Day 1160 is hot off the press. Before we do that, though, let's catch up on the comments. Don't want to get too far behind. Looks like we got a super sticker there from Fast Abdul. Hey, a big shout out there. Let me find that. Where is that? Here, Fast Abdul. And of course, what is that? So from Fast Abdul, Internet Money now on ETH and listed on CMC and CoinGecko. Yeah, pretty awesome, Fast Abdul. I did mention that earlier. Maybe you missed it there, Fast Abdul, but I did talk about that earlier. Very, very cool. Congratulations on the big pump as well. Over 100% on ETH chain, 50% on BSC chain. So congrats, and appreciate the super sticker big time. Let's jump away to catch up on the comments. Definitely got up to that. Got up to that too. Brendan says anything under 10 cents is for Hex is cheap, and I agree with that. I agree with that one. Francis in house with the fire. Sandy Beach says, I guess the price of Hex doesn't matter if it goes to $1 or more. That's true. That's true. That's why I laugh about some of these people early in staking or people selling down big whales as well. Is that they're obviously just trading, right? They don't believe in the ecosystem. So maybe they think that it's going to go up to a price, they sell down. Maybe they want to buy back in. Maybe a few of them do that. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. After a 97% pullback or so, 97.5%, it's like, dude, look what's coming down the pipeline. It's crazy. Hex is really a proxy for Pulsechain, and it's kind of crazy selling out of it, right? We know what the main chains do. Exactly 10% below is cheap. Sandy Beach, I agree 100%, but I'm not worried. I'm in for the long run since Umberto. Definitely hit the like button, as the Xenologist says. We are going to grow old together, says Sandy Beach. That's so cute, Sandy. That's so cute. Tortoise John says, just asked Jesse was on Million or Moon stream the other day, and it was a juicy stream. Yeah, I did watch that one, Tortoise Johnny. It was a good stream if you haven't checked it out. That's on my watch list, Tortoise. Yeah, well, we're frankly running on that one there, Sandy. What else? Zen bottom 1500. Seems like that. It does feel, Xenologist, it does feel like that at the moment. It does feel like that at the moment. Now, the trend is your friend. The trend so far has been supporting that, but really the high gwei and the lower minting has been useful too. Everything's ticking along pretty well, I think, for the most part on that chain. Oh, sorry, on that project. Don't we think that there will be a retrace, says Crypto Truth? I think there's always going to be some. We've already seen a retrace, but I don't know where we retrace back to where. We already retraced back to 4 cents from 5. Pulsechain narrative is not going away, so that does give you a lot of support. We know that your trend is your friend, the narrative is your friend, so I do think that that's on the sort of strong side. BTC, however, might do its own thing. Altcoins might separate itself. Who knows? What is the SAC rate for Power City at the moment? $1 for 1 point. So it's pretty good because I think it was only the first week that they had $2 points for $1. Now it's 1 point for $1, so 1 watt token. So it's pretty easy. Umberto says, I'm on my way to dinner with family and friends. Catch you tomorrow. Night, Superman. Cheers from Sunny Miami. Hey, Umberto, enjoy yourself. Have a great time with the family. What else there? Worth mentioning twice. Yes, Abdul, it is definitely worth mentioning twice. I do appreciate it. So nice one there. I'm sure KG appreciates your support there too. Mickey and Housey, hello all. What's up, Superman? I'm late. Got to start the beginning. Let's go, Hex. Hey, Mikey, welcome. We got Blair SM in the house as well. Hey, all good to see you, Blair. I think we're almost up to date on the chat here. Good to see you, Sandy. So I'll jump past that. Another private chat there. All right, so day 1160. We got the 4th of February 2023, and of course the price down 1.8%. But look at some of these price increases over the last couple of days: 29%, 16.8, 7.4, 6.8. It's nice to see this reversal. We were so used to the price going down, and now we're getting these nice jumps up as well. So very, very cool. We finished the price snapshot at 4 cents pretty much. And of course the Hex payout per T-share, another good day in the office. So we're getting yield and price appreciation. That's a holy grail in crypto, folks. Yield and price appreciation. Oh my gosh. So your portfolios must be looking stellar as it goes up in price. And of course you get more yield. It's just the way it goes. Check out hex.com in the video description. Remember, nothing on this channel is investment advice. You must do your own due diligence. But if you do have any questions, we do have a Discord that's free. And of course we've got great information, and better yet, we've got great people and a great community in there. So definitely get into the links in the video description. What else there? We got the T-share price still sitting over $1,000. And that's incredible. The share rate is going up 6.3 up to 25,684. If you want to understand Hex as a new person, definitely look to understand the T-share rate so that you understand that. And longer pays better, bigger pays better, earlier pays better. And of course, that is so important that you understand that basic staking mechanism there with all the bonuses. So very cool. Average stake length there, 6.52 years. So everybody in the Hex community, if they're staked, are around for a long time for most of them. The average is 6.52 years. The APY rate there, the annual percentage yield rate, which is a compounding rate, and that is the yield and early in stakes there. The yield reflects the inflation of the ecosystem. So this paid out in Hex terms, 36.75%. Liquidity in the pool, it says here, 129 million Hex. Yesterday was down at 79 million. Unbelievable. All right, it's unbelievable. That's the AMM for you. Crazy stuff. And we also see LP providers moving their stuff around too. Let's jump over to the T-shares. T-shares are up 3,441. And of course, we saw that big staking. We've got a big staking coming in there. We've got 10,289,000 T-shares. Remember, Hex is easy to understand. We have a reward pool with inflation and penalties, and we have an ownership pool with T-shares in it. So if the reward pool, the ownership pool changes, then the Hex payout per T-share changes every single day. But basically, it's just going to go up and to the right. So that's why earlier pays better, getting in on the early share rate, getting the maximum T-shares. Longer pays better. The longer you stake, the more effective bonuses you get, and the more rewards you get over time. And of course, we're expecting the ownership pool to go down over time, and the reward pool to get bigger. And so you're going to, reap massive rewards, particularly if you do a 10 to 15 year stake. The absolutely is astronomical yield rewards there. What else we got going? We're going to go jump over to the stake percentage coins. 10.087% of Hex is staked. 2.4 million of Hex penalties today. Another great day. The Hex price, it goes up, but it also makes people want to early in stake. So they do that, and there's less stakers in the pool, so that means the reward goes up for the yield. And of course, they sell down the price, and then if the price recovers, you're back where you were, right? You're in a better spot. So just the way it goes. Now there's pros and cons to that, but generally that seems to be happening to the case there. Now current holders up 483. OMG, what a huge day! 318,424 on Etherscan there. And of course, what's the best advertising of crypto? A green price chart that's going up and to the right. So here we are. That's pretty much it. And of course, the current holders there is up. Current stake is up 16 to 180,214. So yeah, I think as a community, we have a lot more work to do around the stakers and getting people into staking because that's what Hex is designed for. So we do have that playing out here. So cool. So you can see we've got speculators coming in with these wallet numbers, and of course Pulsechain's coming, so we've got speculators for that too. But the Hex stakes is still going up there, 16. Now holders up to 626, massive day, to 527,666. So that's pretty cool. We're looking for, imagine we got triple numbers there. Imagine getting into quadruple numbers. Highest of stakes documentary, Pulsechain launching, all sorts of stuff happening around that space. It's going to be so exciting. So we're on day 1161, the third month of the fourth year for Hex. And we've got the base payout pretty much around 6.249 Hex per T-share. That is pretty much the Hex daily stats, folks. Now, getting into the global staking, here is the global stakes, and look what we've got. We've got all these short stakers coming out. Now, would they sell into a 4-cent price bump? I don't think so. I think a lot of these guys are just going to, there'll be some, of course, we see a few, but I think a lot of these big, large holders here they are going to end up just continuing to short stake. These guys typically, I think they have a better understanding for the Hex ecosystem. They just want to keep their short-term liquidity options, maybe scrape interest, some of them. So there's some reasons why they might be doing short large holders here. Now this number was something like 4 billion at some stage. I think it's probably similar. I'd have to add them up, but it's probably similar here. And it's kind of the next sort of 90 to 120 days of these short larger holders staking out here. So we've got February, March, April, May. So going into May here, you can sort of see these shorter stakers. Now, the one thing that's going to happen, of course, we've got this big stake coming out here, 354 million. Then we got the following day on the 6th is 268. Then we got a couple other days here, 351 and 356 on the 10th and 11th of February. So these are short stakers. Most of these will probably just go forward, and we'll see, but most of them should do. Then, of course, we've got the Hex Godwell coming out on the 14th, and what will that do? What will that do? It's going to rinse and repeat that, because that's going to be impressive impact on APY and T-shares and things like that. So we'll see how that goes, and of course that would impact these short-term large holders, because the share rate on the 16th, after the Hex Godwell comes out on the 16th, is expected to go up by 600 Hex per T-share. And that's a big deal. That's a big deal. So obviously this is going to keep going up to the share rate. And of course these larger holders, they get the optionality for having more liquid stakes, and of course being able to scrape interest in some cases. But they are getting diluted from a T-share point of view. And remember, short stakes cannot beat out longer stakes in the T-share in the X ecosystem. So that's just the way it goes. Now, obviously, they still have quite a bit of Hex there, but there's certainly 600 Hex per T-share is quite a lot, and it's sort of starting to climb there. And by the time they get up there, it's going to be even higher than that, right? Because other days we get other incremental rises. By the end of the year, we're expecting to see the share rate absolutely huge, well over 30,000. In fact, let's bring up Hexifier while I'm at it. I probably should have done this earlier, and we can see the projections here on this website. So let's pull this up. So you can see, here is the 16th of February, expecting that to go up by 600 Hex per T-share to 26,451. But look at these other step jumps later in the year. Look at this stuff, man. It's crazy. And they're expecting some big jump at the end of the year, getting all the way up to 32,000. So, these large shorter stakers are getting diluted from that point of view. The yield's relatively low compared to the period that the staking's 30, 60, 90 days. And of course, the share rate's going to pummel them. And if the Hex Godwell rinse and repeats this sort of behavior, it's going to be even amplified, even worse. So it's just the way it goes. All right, so you can see by the end, this is the next 11 months. So you can see we haven't got a lot of candles out in the future. We've got this big one here, 620 million Hex. This one here is the 407 million out here in July. We've got this one out here in 3rd November. This is probably probably got OA stake in here, this 30th of November. So it's going to be interesting. That is pretty much where we are at this stage. So cool. That is looking exciting, folks. That's getting better and better and better, man. Honestly, obviously Hex is a proxy at the moment for Pulsechain, but just Hex by itself, its own unique features are looking better and better as we move forward in time as well. That share rate certainly adding to the supply side magic. All right, Francis in house. Hello, Francis. Good to see you. And who else is here? I think that's it. Is that it? I think that's the last comment. I think we got up to the last comment there. Wookie says 21,677 watts. 22 in the last days. Yeah, burning. Yeah, you're a special person there, Wookie. I think that's it, folks. We're up to an hour and 10 minutes, so we're going to wrap up. A big special welcome, everybody. I do appreciate the huge support. And as you guys know, I'm on the same journey as you guys. We're going to have a lot of fun doing it, though. Pulsechain, PulseX, Hex, and of course, we're going to have that incentive token out there too. That's going to, I think, be a major pumpamental that not people don't talk about enough. So that's going to be cool when that does launch. All right, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, all that good stuff. I probably will be doing a Power City video later on today. Stay tuned for that. I hope you guys have had a really good time. This is a fun time to be in crypto, particularly in the Richard Heart ecosystem. And of course, if you want to get into, chat to people, get into our Discord. The link's in the video description. And of course, great people and great information. You can't do much better than that. And yeah, if you want to join this channel as a supporter, hit the join button. We've got Pulsechains, the Hexkins, and the Richard Hart Club, 3 different memberships you can support this channel as we do live streams every single day, like clockwork, like absolute clockwork. So there we are. And don't call me Superman for nothing. All right, take care, everybody. Hope you guys enjoy yourself, and bye for now. Peace out.